Hey, y'all, we're live.
All right.
Yay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Right Perspective. We are a podcast that looks at movies and television shows that are considered classics, and then we recap them and we discuss them to see if they still hold up and to see if they are a classic from the right perspective. And we make one exception, and that is with the show This Is Us, because we are so sure that it is going to be considered a classic that we're just reviewing it in real time.
I
So,
mean, the stuff of legends, okay, is what we're doing
future
right now.
generations will look back upon to this
Yes.
show and revel in the glory. Kick off our intros, bro.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Wright. I'm the oldest.
I'm Janiyah Wright. I'm the middle.
I'm Brittany
Dra-
Wright.
Dramatic pause.
And I'm the young kid.
I don't know why this started. I wish it had not.
Mhm.
This is now a thing. The
It's now a
dramatic
thing.
pause is a
Dramatic
thing
pause.
I wanted to end. Can anyone stop it in the world?
Life is jazz. You'll never know what to
You'd
expect.
never be able to stop it.
Some days I'll just like jump right in there, and other days you need to reflect that I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're reflecting.
Mhm.
We're reflecting. Y'all, tonight's episode, we've been up and down this season, right? Like, we had a couple times where we were like, what are y'all doing? This is us. And then they have been struggling with production. So we've lost momentum because of that. The episodes haven't been on a predictable schedule. And so now we've been feeling a little better. How was it for y'all tonight? Oh, and I didn't say the name of the episode. Season 5, episode 15, and it's called Jerry 2.0.
Well, I This Is Us is like losing me. Like the I think the thing that I loved about the show, and I was really trying to pinpoint it tonight, but I think the thing that I loved about the show in the beginning was how they were dealing with all these complex relationships, but not
Mm,
just romantic. It was like the romantic relationships were not even the main focus. Even when they were dealing with the romantic relationships, it was like these complex issues within the romantic relationships.
mm.
Now it just feels like a regular romantic drama. I mean, they're just dealing with normal, relationship stuff that we've been watching since that show 30 something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just normal.
Even with the traveling still through time and like getting different glimpses of their lives at different points, it's still just feeling very normal
Yeah, like
or
wow, long
average.
distance
Yeah.
relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh. And
I
they
mean, it's
work. Yeah.
I used to. It was just when I started watching this show, I would get a feeling that like I would be mad because I'm like, oh man, it's like about to be over, like or like it felt like it was ending too quickly. Now I look at my watch, I'm like, it's only 9:42. Like, good gracious, like I feel like I've been watching this show for 2.5 hours, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just it feels normal to me now. It doesn't feel complex. I mean, just like I just think about
It's
the
just
the
feeling typical, kind of.
it's feeling typical. You know,
Sis. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just remember the feeling of going back to the beginning
Mm.
when Randall confronted his father, and you just see this struggle of, he came there to tell his father off,
So
and he did
complicated.
it, and he was like, "You want to come in?" Yeah, it's just like that's amazing. Just this like seeing this dichotomy just play out of just but now it's just, but anyway, so that's where I was at
I,
with it.
you know what? I feel like you're bringing up something though that happens with all shows. I feel like at some point, every show has this moment where it's like, okay, y'all didn't know what to write in the writer's room, or somebody quit, or you're transitioning and trying to figure
You had a
something
guest
out.
come in that didn't quite get it. What
Right.
happened? It was somebody's nephew.
Right. Like something has gone awry. And I've noticed that in watching reruns of shows. And then if you notice, sometimes on television, when they're doing like, you'll see them start from episode one of a show and run through, there are certain episodes that they never play. And it's just because they're not good episodes. It's like, what was happening that anybody put this out, or did it get out? Like, it's so not
Sis,
great.
I gotta raise a question here. I don't want to say push back, but I would like for us to ponder something you just said. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I think about some shows that I have felt were perfect, like pretty darn close to perfect, um, I think about like The Wire. I don't remember having a moment in The Wire where it was like, "What are y'all doing?" Did we have a moment like that?
I remember having
Well, I'll say
some
I didn't, but
yeah.
people often talk about season two like that.
Well, I
Um,
enjoy, so I remember in general enjoying The Wire, but I
Mm,
do remember some stories within The Wire being like, okay, that's enough. Are they dead yet? Like, this is
Get,
enough. Are they
get them
arrested
out of
yet? Like, what's
here.
going on? So,
Okay,
but I will say what This Is Us.
what about Breaking Bad? Did
I've
that
never
show
watched that
have a
show.
did you watch it?
I
Did not.
did. I
Yeah,
did.
like I thought Breaking Bad ended perfectly. Um, there and there are shows.
Yeah, I don't remember a moment with Breaking Bad either where
Yeah,
I was like feeling adrift. Like I feel
yeah,
adrift right now and This Is Us.
yeah,
Like I felt bored
Mm-hmm.
tonight. It
yeah.
felt
Very.
and honestly, even as the two of you have like been voicing like a distance from the show, I haven't been that way because I've been like it's been fine. But
Mm,
tonight I was bored. And I think part of
I
it is
started playing
that
the design game on my phone.
I mean, I DVR it and I was happy I did because my mind was drifting. I had to rewatch certain little parts. And you know what else is happening right now for me is that I'm reading a really good book. And
mm.
Mm-hmm.
so it was like I put down this great book and turned on this show and I was like, I could be reading my book. Like like I was like,
I
this is
mean,
fantastic.
let's think about what they're even talking about. Like, is the show about a guy having cold feet? Like, or just I mean, everybody. Um, I mean that trope of somebody popping up from your past when you're about to get married or something like that. Like everybody talks about that. Like that's not even.
Well, I
But
would
bro, I
say this though, what made
mhm.
that a little more complex to me though, which that was the part that I did enjoy, was really stabbing at the foundation of their relationship, Kevin and Madison. And so that the question becoming, are they in love? But then it also begs the question of, well, what's people's definition of love and what does that look like? And
Oh, I
so
did want to point out one thing based on what you just said right there. It made me think of, you remember how you two jumped on me when I said that Rebecca and Miguel's relationship wasn't magical? What did Miguel say tonight?
mm,
All he
that,
said was that it wasn't destined, but that they were
Exactly. And that's
no,
what I
he
was talking
said they
about.
were still
That's
writing their love in the stars.
that. But what I'm saying is that was the difference between what I was talking about. And he said it. He said it.
bro,
He
I
said
No,
it.
no,
think
but
I
bro,
think that so that makes me think
he said the
somebody's
two
been
are
watching
equivalent.
our podcast.
The two
Hmm?
are, he was saying they're just different, but they both work.
One of them This
I'm
Is Us writers been watching our podcast and stole that from you.
I'm not look, I think so too. No,
Well,
but
they need to steal
what I
some pizza sauce or
but
something to make it
I
delicious.
Some meat
Obviously, I'm
sauce.
hungry.
honestly, I can even think that the latter can work better or longer sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'm not I would the point I was just trying to make is that Rebecca and I even forget his name, but what was
Miguel.
no
Miguel.
no no
Oh, you mean Madison and Kevin?
no Rebecca and the first what's his first the first husband the
Oh,
main
Jack.
Jack. God, good. Man, I'm losing it with the
Oh,
show,
how dare you?
but
You
what I'm
wrong for
saying
that.
is
You
that
wrong for
but
that.
I'm the viewer. They're supposed to keep me engaged. That's but I'm saying that was the point I was trying to make is that Rebecca and Jack had that, you know, mystical kind of just
OMG,
draw.
y'all
Yeah,
found each
you know,
other.
yeah,
Soulmate.
and that's not the discount what Miguel and Rebecca have. It's
Sure.
just that it's different, and that's the point I was trying to make back in the. So I did laugh at that
Well,
when I was like, yeah, I'm bringing that up.
I
I'm
will
bringing
say
that up.
that I thought so. I do agree that like it's like so common to have this storyline of like everybody's getting cold feet right before the wedding.
Mm,
But I thought that their take on it was a little different. I thought it was like, okay, it wasn't like, oh, because I think the questions normally are like, am I ready to get married? I'm having cold
mm,
feet, or is this the right person? I'm having cold feet. Kevin's crisis is, do I proactively ever make decisions? Or am I just going with it was more like an identity, like he's having like a larger set of questions that I felt like his marriage to Madison was one of the things that he's questioning right now about himself.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Um and so I did see complexity in that, and I also saw complexity in I think like the Toby storyline. It is one of those things that there are people all around the country that are identifying with that Toby storyline in a
mm,
crazy way because of COVID. I think the same
mm,
thing with Rebecca with Beth. Beth, like, I think her storyline, losing her studio just to COVID, I think that's another storyline that's resonating with a lot of people. And so, I was tonight again, as I was convincing myself to forgive the show with each passing minute, I was just like, maybe this storyline isn't for me. Toby's right now ministering to somebody else's spirit as he's grappling through all of
well,
this, and
I
it's
mean,
not ministering to my spirit.
here's
But
the
I,
thing
I
though.
did I did see complexities in the stories though that felt different, bro. I just wanted to name that because when you're talking about the show, just felt it feels typical. I I don't know if I agree with that. I felt bored tonight, but I still feel like the show's unique.
Well, I'm not going for it to be completely typical. This is us. We have a very far way to fall.
Yeah, it's
But I
so true.
but what I'm saying is if I started watching this show right now, I would not like and I'll tell you that like the corniness of Randall and his relationship with Beth, I used to enjoy it because it was kind of like sprinkled in with all this other heavy stuff. And it was just like, a little bit here and there, but like now it's just like overbearing. If just seeing
Mm.
how he's been like that for 25 years, I'm just like, this dude is just the lamest dude in the world, and like um it's becoming not endearing to me anymore.
Mm.
Like it's and just and that's admitted. Like for me, that's normally where I would fall. Like me liking it
Was
is what
special.
is what was
Yeah.
special. But like now it's just like, okay, all right, I get it. Like this dude has been so in love since the first. I get it. All right, I get it now. Like, And that's the other thing with the way that they're having Rebecca interact as the mom is like, yes, I like, I see this how special these moments are, but it's like, okay, we get it. Rebecca has wise things to say. Yes. But it's like they just keep going back to that well over and over again where I'm like, okay, it's almost like a setup like, oh, there she's alone with somebody up. She's about to say something, you know, uh special.
Maternally. Yeah. And I got to tell you though, with Rebecca's story, I you remember how Kate was in crisis for so long that
Mm-hmm.
we got to a point where it was like, Lord, give Kate a break. That's how I have felt about Rebecca. Like, oh my gosh, like current day Rebecca. It's just been like, it's just like we've just been watching her deteriorate. And again, this is a
Mm.
real thing that people have
Yeah,
dealt with. We've dealt with it in our family,
yeah.
you know. But it's like I was just relieved for her to have a good day. I really was. She wasn't getting lost. She wasn't
Mm.
confused. She was fully engaged.
Always
And she
something
was even
happening.
making jokes. You know what I mean? Like I was actually celebrating her normal, like the fact that she could be present. And I want to say, what medicine is she on? So we can all make a note because that's some good medicine. But I was like, I was in celebration of like how she was able to be herself even before she said it. Um, because I have wanted Rebecca to just be able to have peace with Miguel. Miguel is just he's still the best. He's just the
Uh,
best.
you know what? I think
I
sometimes I
love me some
struggle.
Miguel.
I struggle because we want a show to have real life
Yeah.
and we want it, but we still want it to have pizzazz. We wanted to keep our attention. So it's like, listen, have a real gun, but that gun should be shooting all the time. And so, because I feel this way, but sometimes I feel like, and what the pandemic has even shown people, is that life is just not always going to be a gun going off. Um, I think sometimes some relationships need the cornballness, right? To be successful, especially when I'm seeing you every day, all day, literally. There's no time apart. There's no, I'm going to work, coming back. Like, we're together 24/7 now. I feel like there has to be that. But also, I can appreciate Randall's character because he's just being true to himself. He's been that way since he was little. So it's like him just being who he is and Beth accepting him. So I look at the bigger principle of like, man, how beautiful is it that someone is accepting you for you? They're not
Is
asking you
that
to,
is that is that what's happening? Are we just like, do we know these characters so well they're just regular people to us now? Is
man,
that what it is?
I
Is
don't
this
know.
like now a
All I know
man.
is
reality show where
all I
it's like
know
we
is
just know these
But
people and we're
all I'm
just like
saying is
watching
like
a day in the life?
what if we seen a flashback of Randall cheating on Beth or something, or
How
like
dare you?
when they broke up. I mean something, just something to like I just give me something.
but that's the thing though. I think some people have that story
Well,
where it's like that, but then you have people that aren't that story, like a Kevin and a
yeah,
Madison.
and those people aren't interesting to watch. So
Well, let me ask y'all a question. Do
Well,
you
no,
think
but before you, well, you might be about to ask the question that I was about to make a
mm,
statement on.
do it?
Well, I was just gonna make a statement about what comes into challenge a relationship. I don't think Sophie should have called. I was like, Sophie, girl, messenger him, send him an email, congratulations, bro, and keep it moving. You up here trying to call, and then once you get on the call, oh yeah, call me back. This is not your friend. Y'all are not
well,
homies. Y'all
actually,
don't talk all the time.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I didn't like it. I just kind of felt
She
like,
didn't say, "Hey, it's Sophie. Oh, I've missed
well,
you so much." And she didn't
well,
throw and she didn't
well, he
throw
didn't
shade.
call one nine
She didn't
hundred
throw
Sophie.
shade and like be a jerk like his other ex.
well, well,
No, I'm
Sophie
just
well,
was an
saying
epic
like,
love for him.
that was an epic love for him, but that's what I'm thinking. It was an epic love for her too. So I'm just like, I guess that would be a question. Where do we draw the line of appropriate and inappropriate? Because it wasn't it we gotta remember that him and Sophie tried it again in adulthood. And it wasn't that long ago. So I'm just like, where do we come to a place where it's like, girl, don't contact him because you know what happens when y'all two connect. It's like that movie Hancock where the two superheroes are they're bound together, but as they get closer, things start to destroy. Like they get weaker, like and their powers don't work. Like it's just y'all
Well,
want to be together, but it's just not meant to be. So just stop contacting each other.
Oh, I don't know if
well, I
I agree
mean,
with that.
that was
I'm talking about in their
that
circumstance.
was that was a that was one part of the episode I felt like was real but interesting because it was real and it was interesting in a real way because it's been my experience that's how it happens, man. Because
Yeah.
even if it's not something like I don't think Sophie has bad intentions,
I don't think she
but
does
but
either.
but but at the same time, like she's just I'm still here. Like
I
I'm
see. I didn't see her as saying I'm still here.
I'm just saying
I,
that's what I'm not saying she's intentionally doing that, but
but
it's
she is
just
still
but
See,
there.
and
she
that's
is
what
doing
I'm
that. She
saying.
is
That's
doing
why I'm
that.
like, why are you calling him? Like, this is something he didn't even bother to tell you. You found out on in the news that this man is about to get married with kids, and you're calling him. Like, that's dumb to me. He didn't tell you because why? You're not a factor. So why call him? Send him an email, send him some fan mail. Congratulations. Like, I don't understand
Well, I mean,
why
I'm not
you're
quite as passionate about it as
like, but
Brittany
I
is,
just, but see, I just,
but I'm
the
just saying.
reason, but let me tell you the reason why behind this. People don't know. I've been binge watching Mary Jane, and like the decisions that she makes in this show, I just want to jump through the TV. But I also think about the reality of the fickleness of the heart and what our decisions we make when we're not clear minded about what we're doing. And I think about how it's like in that moment, Sophie, we she I don't feel like you're thinking clearly about what you're about to do in this moment.
Well,
Your emotions are leading you to like call him, but for to tell him congratulations, girl, he still had your number in his phone and he has not reached out. Like, what? Why are you calling him to tell him congratulations?
well,
Like, I don't understand.
let me also say that if Kevin was where he needs to be, even though I believe that Sophie was, like I said, not intentional, like
Right, and I
nothing,
agree, not
but like if
intention,
it,
but the heart
like,
just
but if Kevin was where he would be, then, for
Wouldn't
example,
matter.
when she said, "Oh no, don't, don't hit me back," he would have just be like, "All right, cool, I'll let you," he would have just,
Yeah.
he would have just
Catch you
let
on the
it,
flip side.
yeah, he would
Yeah.
have just let
Like,
it go.
it's so good to
So,
hear from you. Bye now.
so
right.
so even though I don't feel like it was the best thing for her to do, at the same time, uh, if Kevin was completely secure in his relationship, it still would have been a
Situation.
non-factor. So, I mean,
And I agree with that too. Cause it's like
so it's like two
cut it
different,
off.
it's well, I don't
Well, I mean,
even,
he did delete the contact.
but even, but I will say that to me, deleting the contact is a bit of insecurity, like to me,
That's what I
you know what I'm
thought.
saying? Because if you're like if
Like
you
I
don't
had to delete the
care,
Seamless app from my phone because I couldn't stop myself from ordering food. I was like, I can't even
yo,
have this
that
app on
is
here.
a perfect
And
example.
so I
That
can
is a
see
perfect example.
because Satan was
Just
coming
like
upon
Uber Eats,
me.
like what Uber,
Yeah,
if you once you're focused, you can have Uber Eats on your phone.
exactly.
But
But
like,
while you're not,
but while you're not,
you
you got
don't
to
need
delete
that
that.
temptation on there. Because you need to give yourself an
You know
extra
what?
step where you have to type it in the URL so that you can think and catch
Right,
yourself. You need
right.
a
You gotta
step.
go back.
But
You gotta
it's
go
so
Well,
download it.
crazy.
I
I
will.
literally posed this question on my Facebook page. I was like, do y'all delete and block people? Or do y'all just, put their name in your phone as something else? And I always, in my opinion, I believe everybody believes that they're stronger than they actually are. And that you can, if you give too much slack to something, it can carry you away if you are not careful. So I'm not just saying everybody just
I
needs to
will
run around
say
here deleting and blocking people, but I also go, what's the point of having this person even in your contacts if
I
you're
think
not
there's
talking to them or connecting with them? Like, I don't even understand the point of
I
having
think
them in there.
there does come a point I think in some relationships where you've passed a line where no matter what, like unless you ended in anger, which again Sophie and Kevin have been in a good place, and in fact she earlier on had reassured him and enabled him to be successful in his relationship with Madison,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think if you're not on bad terms, there does come a point with some relationships that I think they move into a notification circle. And it's I think about like there's certain people that you reach out to when something significant is happening in your life or their life, even if you have not been in touch in a very long time, unless you're on unless of course it was like a bad terms kind of exit. Because I have people like that I would expect to reach out to me, and then I have people that I would reach out to, and it would just be to
I
announce
mean,
a life
I,
transition.
But if they didn't, would you feel away?
I think it's one of those things where it's like in some cases, eh, I I I might, because but again, if I felt like I needed to reach out to them, I just would. Cuz like I think about just like I know like when I got back and when found myself in a significant relationship, I had to notify a few people just because these are people that made their way in my life to a level of significance where they needed to know what to have some clarity about where I am. But
well,
it's not because I'm like,
that's. Well, I think
you know,
that's a different cover. Like if you're talking about
but I think it goes
the
the other way too. Once a person reaches that point where it's like you're in my notification circle, I've just I'm trademarking this phrase now.
mhm.
It's like the notification layer. It's like you're an ex from a significant and long relationship, and you hear I'm going through something. I mean, you don't have to call and check, but if we're not on bad terms, say hi. I don't
But
know.
I guess the question
I mean,
becomes, when
I'm
does
just
that?
I'm just telling you, like, I don't. For me, it's a person's name with a phone number. It wouldn't even occur to me to delete somebody's
Yeah,
name on my phone.
I
Like,
don't delete either.
I just
And
don't
I don't
care
block. I just
enough
haven't had those
to
situations.
I feel like if I had to delete and block somebody or whatever, they still have a level of control or impact in my mind that I don't want. Like I, well, it's not that I don't want. They just don't have that. Like I just it would be like having a name in my phone of a business that I called at one time. It's just like if this if a call comes in, then I know whose name this is
It's just the
attached to.
contact.
Oh,
You
It's
know what I'm
just the
saying?
contact.
For
but now
example,
for me,
like
I
if I
hate
reach out
having
to
extra
somebody,
contacts in my phone.
if
I
I
delete. Like, if I know I haven't talked to you in a while, like, you're not in my phone anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I've
I mean,
deleted you
and
out.
look,
Like, there's no.
I'm just talking about for my like for me, I know if I let's say there is a situation where I hit somebody up and they don't have my phone number in their phone, I know I'm in their brain, like because they had to delete me out their phone. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't, if they, I know that I'm
They
still
had to take an
occupying a
intentional
space
step,
where they had to take an intentional step to,
or at least you were at some point. It doesn't
yeah,
mean you still
exactly.
are,
Doesn't mean they still are.
but
So,
at
but
some
so,
point they
yeah,
had to do what Kevin did, which is to say, I don't even need this in here because
yeah.
it makes me feel a
Especially,
kind of way.
and especially
But
if
you know
they,
what? It almost sounds like though it demonizes it when people do that, right?
I'm
Like
not,
I
no, I'm
think
not saying that at
we
No,
all.
I think
I'm
we're
not
talking
saying that
about
at
different
all.
approaches.
I'm not saying
I
that at
but
have to
yeah,
all.
because
tell you,
I was gonna say like I just feel like so often people want to make it like, oh, I'm strong, I'm good. And it's like,
you're
but
not.
why though? It's dumb,
No, like I said,
actually.
I don't delete phone
Like
numbers, but
like
I had to get rid of that Seamless app. And in fact, I actually had to call them and shut down my account. I emailed them like,
What does seamless
close
do?
this account. Did y'all know that you can do because
order
I just didn't
food.
even need a login.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you know what? I need this login deactivated so that my card information is not here and I cannot use
Everything
it.
is gone.
So I
Listen.
deleted the app
And
and then I
especially those
also
accounts where
closed.
they'll email you back and be like, we're going to take 10 days to shut this down. Just in case you change your mind. No, I'm
Right.
not. I'm not
And
changing
now,
it.
now I'm at a place where I can have the apps on my phone. But I had a period of time where I really could not have food ordering apps because I was trying to find discipline.
Oh,
So
But I think
I definitely
I
that
don't
agree
think
with
it's a
you,
is,
Reese,
demonizing.
at
I
one
think
point.
it's like preference. But I'm also gonna
but
say,
yeah,
Britt, I got cell phone numbers for you in my phone that I know you don't have anymore. So I also want to just name like I don't have good cell phone management.
right.
When from
See,
in terms of my
and for
contacts,
me,
they
like
junky. They junky. So
if you were somebody that was significant in my life and you have passed away, I do have RIP in my phone. And I have the person's name still in there. But if you're somebody like I haven't talked to in like a bazillion years, like I'm just going to delete you. But I also think that a lot of times people see deleting, and the reason why I say like demonize it is because it makes it seem like the person is weak. And I oftentimes think that sometimes deleting and blocking is strength. And I think there's just so often we make it like, well, we make the person that doesn't delete and block to be the strong one, and we make the person that does delete and block to be the weak one. But to me, there's
it can
strength
go either way.
in both,
It
right?
can go either way.
And it's like, man, I wish that would just be the case, because we hype stuff up that actually sometimes is toxic. People leave people on their phone and they think it's just because I'm strong, and it's like, nah, you're trying to prove something to yourself that's not real. But it's okay though, because if in that moment you're feeling strength, I think that that's fine. But I think it's strength on both sides. And I just
Yeah.
wish that we could say that versus it being like this person is occupying space in your mind and they're doing this and nothing. And it's like, dang, can I just be done with
But
it? And
sometimes it
I
is.
don't
But
it right,
sometimes
it's
it's
on both
like
sides. It's like
it's just like to
I'm
each
either
his
I'm
own.
done with it, or I'm just
Yeah.
like, or I need to delete it because I'm a order the food. Like, like it
Get
could
it out.
be two things, and basically two things could be true.
Oh
Um,
boy. Well,
so
that's actually so we're out of time, y'all. I have
Okay.
one question I wanted to ask y'all before we wrap, and it's a prediction question. Are Madison and Kevin gonna make it down the aisle next week? What do you think?
Man, I just don't care. I mean, either way,
listen,
like,
Same here.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not vested either way. Like, I can't, like, if I said a prediction, it would just be me saying something like, because I feel like whatever they're gonna do is just
I mean,
like,
aren't they gonna give us some kind of cliffhanger that'll make us come back next season?
I'm
I
sure.
feel like there's something gonna happen.
they're gonna get married, but then Sophie is gonna show up to the reception.
No, it ain't gonna be that.
Sophie's
It
not
ain't
like
gonna be
that.
that.
That would be
But
so out of
but
character.
one thing about it is, but see, that's the thing. People are loop to scoop. I'm calling you
Oh,
about your your baby and your fiance, and you haven't talked to me and told me shit. But the parts of like, but I will say this: we know he's married because he's married in when they skip to the future and Rebecca is passing away.
We don't
I
know that
bel
it's Madison.
we don't know it's Madison though. So we know he's married. I just don't know. We don't know who he's married to. But I
Mm,
do feel like if they do get married, it's going to skip to that scene and Madison is going to come walking into the room behind the twins. I feel like they will fast forward to let you know these jokers are still together.
yeah.
Well,
Bro, you don't
I
have no
on it.
prediction?
I mean, I could just say, like, I honestly have no, like, I could just say something, but I have
I
no
will tell you, I
vested.
am one that I actually do predict shows pretty well, even when I don't mean to. And I really don't have a prediction on this. And I think part of it is like this show is so full of surprises. I also think though it's a little bit of what you're talking about, bro. I'm like, eh, like I'm not invested one way or the other. Um,
And I
but
don't
I'm gonna
like
I
pick a
just want
lane. I'm gonna pick a
and I
lane
don't
because
and I don't
Brittany
think
said they will. I'm gonna predict that they won't. Just so we got a little tension. See
and
how
the
you
other
make a
part
cliffhanger? This is us. This is how you keep people coming back. Whoa! Which one is right,
and
Brittany or Jediah?
and the funny thing is that like every other time when the season's building up to the end, I feel an emotional attachment to either outcome. Like
Yep.
I would feel like if they didn't, I would feel away, or if they
Yeah,
did, I would feel away.
I'm really meh.
But like,
you know what?
But
Mm.
Madison has
I've
never
been
been my favorite, and neither has
yeah.
Kevin. I feel like Kevin is like
But you know
a
what? I've
paper
been feeling
bag.
this about shows in general. Like I've just been feeling like there has not been any shows that have just been like, if anything, I'm committed to watching it to the end.
oh, I'm gonna watch it to the end.
Like
We're
I'm
no,
in
no,
in
it.
to
We
the
no,
in
end.
but
it.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm just
In
saying
it
like
to
yeah,
the
like
end
that's
it.
yeah, I'm
my
in to
Yes.
the
commitment
end.
is not about whether I like it or not now. It's like
Oh yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in that thing. I'm on
I've burned the ships. I'm in. Like
exactly.
I'm in. You know, just like I was in. Um, with Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
and the thing is
You
that
just hope that it always pays off,
there's
like
Yes.
Game of
I
Thrones where
mean
it
there's
didn't. It was like
I'm still not even ready to talk about
it was
that. Like
very unsatisfying.
I don't know. I stopped at season 5. I don't know.
that was just
I kept going because again, I was committed. I was not gonna
well
stop.
I mean
I wasn't gonna
that
stop, but it was
like
disappointing.
that whole situation was so egregious that I feel like it's even beyond like
It's so wrong for that.
I mean that was a special type of just like you're
The
just taking
technical
something.
term is wackadociousness.
I mean that was just when you take something when you think about how epically it began and how it was the biggest thing ever and they
And the
just
way they kept us waiting for that last season.
so yeah that was
Oh,
just a
the
special
It's
level of
so
anticipation.
funny
wackadociousness
how it's
but
literally unanimous. Anybody that I ever speak to, any show I ever hear or listen to, everyone is just like, I can't believe
I
they
mean
did this to Game
there's
of
no
Thrones.
and you know what made it so bad is like after season 4 and it was like for me 5, 6, and 7 were like teetering but like if it would have ended right I could have
It would have been worth it.
I could have like, but the way that they ended it, it destroyed 6, 7, 6, and 5 for me as well. It was just,
Right.
so anyway. So I mean, the point
Why
is
would you
that
do that?
it's just so
The point is
bad.
that very
But the point
rarely
is
you
that
have shows
that
that can
make it
see
all the
it
way
through.
through, and I think that Better Call Saul has a chance. I think Breaking Bad, The Wire, but there's not many shows that did it. Like even the shows that I was happy through the end, like Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, which I thought this controversial, but I thought it was okay through the end. Even though they trailed off, it wasn't like that bad. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
still like it wasn't just like, but
A
like
slap in the face for the committed
yeah,
viewer,
but
which is what the
This
Game
Is
of
Us
Thrones ending
is
was.
is teetering for me, man. It really is. But I made
Well,
it to the end, so
I'm going to believe that
me
next
too.
week's episode is going to be like, "Wow, this is
I'm
what y'all
ready.
been building toward."
I'm ready.
And
I'm
oh,
ready.
look at my socks across the room because they got knocked off
And my mind is where
On
on
I,
Channel
Channel
9,
9.
where it belongs because it has been shot.
Listen.
Channel 9. Well, y'all, that's the right perspective on tonight's episode of This Is Us. And I think
On,
the
on the
perspective is
lullaby.
meh. And it's a
Eh,
meh. It's a hopeful
eh.
meh. And that's the best
but
we get.
what won't be in there is, oh no, it's not coming up. The next time we'll be doing the finale next time we talk.
That's right.
I was going to make a mention of Janaya watching Minister Society for first
Man,
time,
let me tell
but
you
I'll get into
something.
that. I'll get into that
If
next week.
we get, oh wait, what was my homework? A Lindy Hop. A
Yes,
Lindy
That's
Hop.
exactly how you fail a class.
I did. A Lindy. Yep.
Janaya always takes her homework very seriously,
I
and
do.
Listen. A Lindy
Lindy
Hop
Hop,
and a what
how's
Jen?
a popping?
Hell's a popping. I'm putting it
Y'all,
in right now.
viewing world, if you want to know what Brittany is talking about and be as disappointed as me and Arby are that she doesn't know what her homework is, check out our last podcast. We're on everywhere podcast
That's
stream,
it.
Google,
My
Apple.
question always does it get Zen?
You can always Spotify. You can find us also on
It
rightperspectivepodcast.com. And
always gets done.
our last review and discussion was of Singing in the Rain, a musical that is definitely considered a classic in some circles. Was it a classic from the right perspective? You'll have to
You'll have
listen
to check it out.
or watch to find out. Bam!
Bam, there it is.
Bam.
Enticement.
All right.
Love you, bro and sis. I'm going to be asleep
Love
within
you,
3 minutes of us
sisters.
finishing this podcast right now.
I'm gonna race you.
This live stream. Good night,
All
y'all.
right.
Thanks for
Good
Good
tuning
night.
in.
night.
Bye,
Bye.
Good night,
Love
sis.
everybody.
y'all.
Love
Love
y'all.
y'all. Bye.